Hello, beautiful souls. I'm coming on because today is the November full moon. It's a super moon, it's the beaver moon, and it's taking place in the sign of Taurus. So, we're going to talk about what all of that means for you. And at the end, I'll do two things. I'll do another three-card reading where you can choose cards one, two, or three. I'm using three decks, so there'll be three cards for the first, the second, and the third. And then I'll give you a little ritual that you can use to help kind of tune into this energy that's all around us today and in the next few days. All right, so I want to share the chart. Um, I know sharing the screen is always one of those things with me. All right, share. Okay, so it's a little small. I'm going to see if I can magnify that a little bit. Here we go. And make it bigger. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I want to say is that the full moon in general is always a time when we are seeing the culmination. So it's the end of a period. The moon is at its fullest, right? So whatever we have been working on in the last month or in the last year since the last Taurus full moon, it's kind of coming to its conclusion. What you want to do on a full moon is really take an assessment of that and really sit with that energy, appreciate what you have done, worked towards in that time. So we have here the moon in the sign of Taurus. We're going to ignore the houses because we're not doing time zones or any of that. But it's in the sign of Taurus, and a full moon always happens when it's opposite the sun, and the sun right now is in Scorpio. So they're opposite signs in the chart. If you'll notice, the only line going from the moon is to the sun. So it's not connecting with any of these other planets. So it's a very straightforward Taurus full moon. There are some other energies playing around that are maybe a little bit volatile, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. I want to talk about with you not just what the full moon is, but this one in particular, obviously. It's a beaver full moon. It's a super full moon. The beaver full moon is every November's full moon, and it is called that because the beavers this time of year are really shoring up their dens, um, making sure that they're ready for winter. They're starting to slow down, get ready for hibernation or torpor, whichever they do. Torpor is a word I learned from I think Gabe was in first grade and he was talking about how bears torpor and and Rob and I thought it was the cutest thing, but I had never heard of the word before. So thank you, Gabe, for teaching that to me all those years ago. So anyway, it's a time of preparation. It's a time where we know we're going to be slowing down. So with that in mind, and with the energy of the full moon, where it really wants you to stop and do that anyway, and kind of look at the past few um, weeks or periods of time, we want to then also think about it as being a supermoon. Now, every year there are several supermoons, but they're not necessarily always in order. So in 2025, the last 3 months of this year, we're going to have a supermoon every month, which just means that the moon is closer to Earth than it usually is. So it's going to appear brighter and larger in the sky. A supermoon then is extra potent, right? Because its energy is closer to us. We're getting more of that energy working with us and for us. So when you think about a Taurus full moon, Taurus is the sign, it's a very practical, grounded sign. It's also very slow moving. Taurus is represented by the bull. The bull is a creature of habit. He's not easily moved. You can't just shove him aside onto a new path. He's not going to budge unless he wants to. He's slow moving. He's very large and grounded. He needs to move slowly. That's how he operates in this earthly realm. Those are the energies that we're connecting with in this full moon. So it's not going to be about rapid change in the next month. or even in the next year until the next Taurus full moon. But it is about sitting down and looking at your life, your physical life, the home that you've built, the possessions that you value most, the values and worth that you set within yourself as well. It is a sign that is about building something physically in your life. It's about hard work. It's about putting in consistent effort. So, what you're going to want to do with this energy is allow it to unfold for you, to sit with it and observe what comes to mind when you think about what you have built in your life in these last 4 weeks or in this last year, about the things that you have valued, so you've brought them into your life, and the things that you maybe no longer value as much or see as much worth in that you're letting go. Okay. All right. I have notes here and I just so that I didn't forget. I also want to point out the degrees and minutes, 13 degrees and 22 minutes. It's where this full moon is happening in Taurus. 13 to me is the number of the divine feminine. It is a magical number. It is a number of, to me, it's outside of the system, right? It's an odd number. It's one beyond a dozen, 12 being a very foundational um, number within our universe. Um, we think about the completion of groups, the 12 apostles. The idea of a dozen of items is 12 items that make a whole group, right? 13 is the one beyond that. It's interesting that it has been told, and we've been taught that it's an evil number. Friday the 13th is to be feared, those kinds of things. But again, I think that was part of the program of suppressing and denying the divine feminine energy. It's very fitting that a Taurus full moon has a divine feminine energy because Taurus is the sign that's ruled by the divine feminine planet Venus. 22 is a number of mastership. To me, the two, so it's a double two. So it's the energy of the individual plus another, a partnership, a pairing up, a yin and yang energy that's doubled in order to create a foundation of something. So if we take that into consideration with the Taurus energy, be patient with how this is going to unfold. Connect with the divine feminine aspects where it is about compassion and love as being the things that you include in what you are valuing in your very physical, everyday life here in this world. All right. So just because the moon doesn't have any aspects to any other planets besides the sun doesn't mean that there aren't other things going around, happening around the same date. So if we just look from the day before the full moon and the day after the full moon, we have some pretty powerful aspects with a very divine masculine energy. So that would be Mars. We have Mars here. He just entered Sagittarius. Mars is opposite Uranus, who is in retrograde and will be moving back into Taurus, is right now on the cusp of the Taurus and Gemini, but still in Gemini just by 6 minutes. Uranus is also a very masculine energy, forward motion, action kind of planet, just like Mars. Mars, however, is driven by the personal impulse. He is the I am. He is the action that comes from within us to drive us and move us forward, to create and take action and be in the world the way that we're meant to be. He's not a patient planet. He wants action and motion. Decision making, okay, done, let's do it. Let's not think about it and ruminate too much. Interesting choice of words where Taurus would be ruminating a lot. So you have this energy playing in the background of this full moon, this Mars opposite Uranus. Now, Uranus is also a planet of action, but he's kind of the divine, the lightning bolt from the gods, the Thor kind of energy coming in unexpectedly, unannounced, electrifying, shocking, so that you can't ignore it, but it's also not something you can necessarily explain, and it's definitely not something that you expected coming. It's not something that you see coming because it's from otherworldly realms when Uranus's energy comes through. So we have these two, Mars and Uranus, opposite one another. Now, these shocks and revelations and jolts might be within ourselves because Uranus is retrograde, so all of his energy we're directing back within. So you might find that this time period in these next few days is also about a lot of shifts and changes and new courses being taken that you hadn't expected before, especially within yourself. Combine that with the fact that Mars is being supported by both Jupiter, who is a planet of good luck and abundance, opportunities, expansion. And he's also being supported over here by Saturn and Neptune, both of which are in retrograde. So he's being supported by the hard work that you've already put in into creating the life that you want to create, into seeing the actions and the decisions that you've taken and the actions based on them take fruition and move you forward. Neptune is guiding you with your intuition and your deep insights, your gut feelings, the emotional system within you guiding you in ways that aren't necessarily rational or logical. So you have these energies supporting your Mars energy that's in the sign of Sagittarius, which is about far explorations, going to foreign lands, expanding your horizons about how you understand who you are by exploring the greater, wider world around you. Sagittarius is also about those understandings being grounded in institutional systems, religions, academia, university and school systems, even within society and culture, right? Those are all systems of how we understand and are shaped by understanding who we are within them. So Sagittarius to me is always the energy, it's exploration of the wider world, but always to come back to self and to understanding self by gaining new perspectives and being able to step back if you're in the higher energy vibrations of Sagittarius, to being able to step back from those institutional conditioned learnings of the systems that we all are naturally born into and being able to understand what works within them, what aligns with us within them, and what doesn't. And as we gain greater and wider perspectives and knowing more and more about different viewpoints, different ways to live in the world, different value systems, the the more we expand that way, the more we gain a perspective about who we are within the system that we are living in. So those energies are going on at the same time as this full moon. And though they don't influence the full moon, they are acting upon you at the same time. So I'm going to give you a guided, a little exercise to do with this full moon. It's called a culmination ritual. And what all you need to do is just take a moment and sit down and just kind of look at your life the way it is in this moment. And look at the things that you have brought into your life, manifested, created, because you have valued them and have found worth in them and have put energies toward bringing them into your life. It can be material things. It can be experiences that you've gained. It can be about the things that you value within yourself, that you've explored and nourished and fostered so that they become more and more present within you. Take stock. of what you have, what you value, and what you place worth on. And then once you've done that, because Taurus is slow moving, take one thing that you see that has value or worth within yourself or in the greater world around you, in the material world, that you would like to bring into your life moving forward from this full moon. Okay? So take stock and then choose one thing to set your eyes on, a goal, something that you would like to bring into your life that will add value and worth. That was the full moon reading. I hope it served you well. Let me know in the comments below whether any of these messages resonated with you, what goals you might be setting in the next 4 weeks. And I think I probably will share in the comments as well. I need to sit with it a little bit, I think. That exercise just came through to me as I was doing the prep for this. But I'll let you know after I sit with it for a while, what is the goal that I'm setting for myself in the coming 4 weeks to a year. All right, everyone. Love you. Have a great day.